Thank you for joining in today and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for taking your time to always watch on our video. I want to, especially, thank you guys for taking this time out to support the channel. We try to bring some informations that possibly sometimes we might have heard about or know the information, or maybe we didn't think about it in a certain way. But now, when we bring it here, we hope we can do more justice to it and kind of make people kind of understand it even the more. We talk about continents in the world, the Asia, we have the Europe and the Africa. Let's focus on Africa today. What does the African as a continent or African continent, what does it say to you? What do you think about it? What are the information that you know, or the information that you do not know about Africa? So I'm just bringing a little bit of information, just a little bit of facts that we, even ourselves, watching me right now, can actually do research and look at and find out the truth about Africa. If you don't love yourself, you cannot blame somebody else for not loving you enough. Let me say that again. If you don't love yourself, don't blame somebody else for not loving you enough, or not loving you the way you want that person to love. Because the first thing is you owe it to yourself to love yourself. You owe it to yourself or to do the right thing for yourself. Then when you do that, then people know or recognize that you love yourself, you're taking care of yourself. So what am I saying? I'm digressing that into this, that it is your responsibility, it is your duty to tell your own story. Because once you tell your own story, then if anybody else comes around or comes after you and tell your story in a wrong way or in a wrong perspective or in a dark light, then it won't have much effect, because you already told your own part of the story. You already own your own story. You always tell your own story. So this is also applied to me, applied to Africa, and applied to African for not telling their own story. And all the stories or most of the stories that have been out there are being told by non-Africans. That are being told by, sometimes being told by the colonial masters, from the colonial masters' perspective, or colonial masters' objective, goals, or what they perceive that is good for them. Okay, so African themselves has not necessarily been telling their own story. That's why I put up the narrative, like, it's like you are not telling, you don't love yourself enough. If you don't tell your own story, you might not like the way someone else will tell your own story. If you do not tell your own story, you're probably not going to like the way somebody else is going to tell your own story. So it's always good to just, put your story out there. So right now, if anybody's coming after you, telling story, at least you can kind of water the effect of their story down, because you already told your own story. Let me say this. I'm going somewhere with it. If you look at the map, you can see that Africa seems to be really small on the globe map, world map. You can see Africa really small in there. Psychologically, we think, oh, okay, so Africa is small. That is far from the truth. And if you do your research and look at it yourself, or find out the truth, the facts, then you will realize that it is not true. As a matter of fact, Africa is the second largest continent in the world. Asia is the first largest continent, and Africa is the second. But if you look at the globe map, you can tell that it's not being represented, based on the size of the continent. So that is what I'm saying. Now, so what is stopping us from bringing the truth out? For trying to say, hey, this map is wrong, let's make it right. because we are not telling our own story. Somebody else is telling our own story. Africa owns 30% of the world mineral resources. That's abundant reserve and resources, wealth for Africa. Do we think of using it for something, or what is our plan on that, or how it's being utilized? Is the story about the mineral resources is being told by somebody else, or is African really owning? Again, you cannot blame somebody else for doing what they perceive as opportunity, for taking advantage of the opportunity that they see or that they think it present themselves to you. You can blame them. But if we love ourselves, if African love Africa enough, then they will utilize the deposit of mineral resources, abundant deposit of mineral resources that is deposited in Africa. They are there. It's given. Africans don't have to go to and start praying or hoping. Hope is not a plan. Hope is not a plan. You gotta have a plan. Set a goal, have a plan to achieve that goal. That is how you get to where you want to go. We're talking about Africa, then we're talking about the mineral resources. Now gold. Gold. Africa owns 40% of the world gold. Ghana, Nigeria, all those West Africa, Congo, all the abundant mineral resources. Now, if you look at it now, we own it, but do we own it? African own it, but do African own it? Because a lot of countries, the largest holders of gold is not African country. So African is mining these mineral resources, is mining these metals, gold, and is giving it away. And I want you to think of this and remember this. Once it left your heart, once it left your ground, once it left your country, it will not go back. It's gone forever. Once it leaves. So most African countries, they're selling it out, and the rest of the world is buying this gold as a reserve, knowing that one day, what Africans are giving away, they're going to need it. They are going to need it because it is source of wealth. Because you can manufacture gold. The supply of gold is limited. And once it's being shared by others and Africa has none, then Africa tends to start begging for help because you have given what you own away. But I'm just bringing that on the side. My point is this. Africa needs to begin to tell their own story. African needs to start acting on things that is necessary for them to do rather than just talking. Now, don't get me wrong, when you start talking, you keep the narrative going. It's better than keep it quiet and nothing happen. But at least when we do the talk, let's follow it with action. And this is my words for today. This is my thought today. This is the narrative that I'm bringing to us to say Africans need to tell their own story. Everyone has a story. Africa has a story. But it seems like Africans are letting others tell their own story. And the way it's been coming out is not as great as we were wanted it to be. We have to take charge. Africans have to take charge all over the world. It's not about, first of all, humanity. is number one on earth, humanity first. But at the same time, if someone is now having a different agenda from you, trying to find a way or trying to look for opportunity to take advantage of you, then you also have to understand that you have to take care of yourself first, because no one will love you. No one should love you more than you love yourself. Even sometimes your family, you should love yourself first as much as you love others. That is my talk today. That is my narrative, and I want you to say your own, comment on this video, because I believe no one knows it all, but all together we all seems to know it all. And this is my message for today. If this is your first time of joining us or watching one of our video, I would like you to subscribe to the channel. I would like you to support this channel. I would like you to comment and hit like right now. Will you do that? So that you allow other people to be able to watch the video and will be able to comment on this video, and we all together can come out with a solution. Add your own voice to the voice. Add your own act to the act. Don't let it be go without you doing something about it. Thank you once again. Until I see every one of us in the next video, I say have a wonderful day.